I'm Todd. I'm the environment editor at Forbes magazine. For the past 2 weeks, I've been driving the new Ford Focus Electric. The Focus has a 76-mile range, which is comparable to the Nissan Leaf, but one thing Ford did differently is they put in an onboard charger that is twice as big as the Leaf. So this car will fully charge up from a depleted battery in about 3 to 4 hours. Another thing I like about this car is when you approach the car, open the door, it'll tell you what the charge is just by looking at the charge port itself. We're in the downtown Berkeley garage, which is the only place in the city where I can actually get a charge on the car. They have a level 2 charging port, which means it'll charge up in about 3 to 4 hours. So I've been coming down here to charge the car since I don't have a charger at home. So when the ring lights up around the charging port, it indicates that it's charging. And when it's done charging, the Focus will text me on my iPhone to let me know, or it'll send me an email. Like other electric car makers, Ford's put a lot of effort into giving feedback to the driver. One thing that was a revelation to me was how well put together this car is. It was kind of a shock to me after driving Hondas and Toyotas for the last 30 years. The iPhone app will show you whether you're a zippy driver or whether a Zen driver, and Ford takes pains to say either is fine, but the more Zen you drive, the more range you're going to get. This analyzes your driving style and factors in when it's predicting the range for a trip that you're going to take. So this car drives, looks, is almost the same as the gasoline-powered car, which has its advantages and disadvantages. One of the big concerns with electric batteries is cars that operate in hot climates or cold climates can really affect the performance. That's not an issue here in the Bay Area, which is pretty balmy. It's not temperature, it's topography is the big deal, as I found. When you're taking a 3,700-pound car up a hill, the battery performance really goes down in your range. And it makes it a little difficult to judge your range depending on how much you're going uphill, how much you're going downhill. As you'll see as we're going up the hill to my house, it's a pretty steep hill. At the very top, it's a 25% grade, which really knocks the life out of the battery for a while. On the other hand, going down the hill, you get it back through regenerative braking. So right now we've got 42 miles of range, the car says. You'll see that go down as we go up the hill. So now we're down to 29 miles of expected range. We reached our destination and we're at 27 miles of expected range, which is what it would be if we continued uphill. However, the capacity gauge, the little battery symbol, hasn't gone down that much. This car is tightly integrated into the iPhone app, and the key thing is the mapping tool. For most of the time going about town, it's really not an issue. You're going to plug in somewhere. On the weekends, I like to go out to West Marin to surf. That is outside the range of the car. The red is indicating that this car does not have enough capacity to get there and back. Enter my phone number.
Please say a command.
Services.
Connecting.
Services. Do you want directions to that location?
Yes.
Great. Sending.
Hit start route. But I know I'm going to need to charge because the phone had told me that I don't have enough juice to get there. So I can hit point of interest and electric charge station. And I went along the route. So city of San Rafael, which is about 20 miles from here, from Berkeley, and about 27 miles from Bolinas, where I'm going. I will charge the battery at that location. So now it's going to compute the route. And we're ready to go. This is all well and good. The big problem with this right now is that it doesn't really give you any information about the charging station itself. Whether it's being used currently, whether you need a card to open it, is it free or is it fee? That's something that will need to be improved on in the future. Because as more electric cars come on the road, particularly in the Bay Area, and the charging infrastructure is slow to catch up, I found a lot of these times these charging stations are occupied. One of the things I wanted to do driving this car for 2 weeks is to really see how it works in your daily life. And most days, just driving around town, I commute to work on the trains. I'm mainly running my teenager to school and to all his activities, it's fine. The big trade-off in the car was this trunk space, because the battery goes back here. This back here is the battery pack. In a purpose-built electric car, that would be underneath the car, so you wouldn't have this space. Ford's trying to get around this. They've got little storage bins underneath, and under here you've got the plug, if you need to plug the car into just a regular old 110 outlet, a household outlet. There's no spare tire, that would take up too much room, so there's a device here that'll basically will plug the hole. If you get a nail in your tire, it'll plug the leak and pump it up. However, I wanted to know, can I get my surfboard in this car? That's what I do on the weekends, most weekends. And Ford doesn't offer a roof rack, because of the drag it would create, I suspect. But, not something I'm willing to give up for an electric car. So a surfboard rack would be better, but it's doable.